Aloha, Las Vegas. Welcome to the Disaster Ready with Google Cloud Hawaii's story of rapid AI deployment for citizen support. My name's Amanda Sting. I lead the Pacific West team for Google Cloud Public Sector. With me today, we are in the presence of two legends and dedicated public servants. To my right is Pankaj Bano. He is the Chief Executive Officer of Eworld. He is also a former Hawaii DHS Secretary and Director that served the state of Hawaii for 21 years. To the right, we have Hawaii of Department of Human Services, Joseph Campos, who is the Deputy Director, a published author, and also holds a PhD. You might notice that we have our Aloha attire on. This is actually the business attire of the islands, one of the many things I love about Hawaiian culture. With that being said, I'm going to ask Joe and Pankaj, what's one fascinating thing you like about Hawaiian culture?
Okay, aloha everyone. For me, it's the concept of ohana. Ohana means family in Hawaiian, and it's a focus on just how to deal with people. You know, you deal with people in a respectful, loving manner. And in the Department of Human Services in Hawaii, we've expanded that to a concept called Ohana Nui, which is truly a multi-generational approach, looking at ending poverty through multi-generational activities. And so that's really something that I think is important, is the way in which we treat each other.
For me, it's very simple. Being a public servant for 21 years, it is all about aloha spirit. Aloha spirit is, aloha means hello, and it also means bye. But it's way more deeper than that. Aloha means mutual regard and respect, and extends the warmth and caring for others without obligation in return, without any obligation in return. Very, very important concept is selfless service. And the second part of the Aloha spirit that I want to focus on for you folks is, which I really love and care for, is it means essence of relationships in which each person is important to other person for their collective existence. It's extremely important. So Aloha spirit and Ohana Nui, it goes hand in hand because it's technology. A lot of people can integrate. You guys know everything about it, but it's how it is delivered. In what spirit it is delivered is way more important than anything else you will do, especially in the times of crisis, just like the Maui fires, or COVID-19, for example, or lava flows that we went through in the previous years. So that's what I believe Hawaii is all about.
Thank you, Pankaj and Joe. It's really interesting, you know, in our partnership with the state of Hawaii and emergency crisis or in the day-to-day, whether it was the Safe Travels application we quickly deployed during COVID to bring folks back on island in a safe manner, whether it was the virtual desktops we deployed for over 2,000 caseworkers so they could do their work at home, or, you know, what we're going to be talking today was really our call center technology, within 24 hours deploying it for the Maui fires. So jumping right into it today, imagine facing a disaster and needing immediate assistance. The wildfires in Hawaii at the end of 2023 showed us how vital it is to move quickly. Challenges that our public servant leaders faced, ensuring communities receive the services they need quickly and efficiently during disasters. Joe, can you please elaborate on the specific challenges Hawaii DHS had faced in the past getting SNAP benefits to residents quickly during disasters, and how Contact Center AI platform helped address those challenges?
Okay, thank you. So primarily one of the biggest problems that we face in Hawaii is, of course, the distance from the continental US. We also are made up of 8 different islands. You know, so we don't really have the contiguous nature where you can deliver services easily. During a disaster, especially the wildfire disasters, as a federal partner of ours told us, you know, what happened in Lahaina on the island of Maui was truly a human services disaster. It required all of the aspects of human services to be deployed at once. That meant how do we respond to the needs of the people who needed it the most? And we turned to Eworld to help us figure out a way that we could easily access the people on the island of Maui. At that point in Lahaina and West Maui, which is where Lahaina is located, internet services was down, telecommunications were problematic. So we immediately had to figure out a way to get information to people. Eworld was able to produce or stand up with Google the call center, which provided individuals an opportunity to be able to reach not only our staff, but also the AI portion of it, so that they could get the information needed so that they knew what to do in order to respond. One of the things I think is also important is the Department of Human Services, because we're a small island or a small state, we often have issues with staffing and, processing large amounts of applications, what have you. There's always a backlog, and our staff work tirelessly to ensure that people are not left without the benefits that they need. And this was something that Eworld was able to help us with, to ensure that people could definitely call us, reach us, and get the benefits that they needed.
I think, if you don't mind, the number of calls that we received, we set it up in 24 hours. And my hats off to the Google team. They're present here. And they did a fantastic job of working with our CX team to put this whole plan together. And it materialized on the 10th of August. We started to have conversations with Human Services. On 11th morning, it was delivered. And 3,000 calls were taken for the UI side, and almost 4,000 calls were taken as well for the disaster SNAP, the food benefits. It was unbelievable how the teams gelled, and with Department of Human Services, it was exhibition of true Aloha spirit, selflessly, and Google's contribution was their contribution to the recovery effort of Hawaii. So we are very, very thankful to Google for that.
Thank you, Pankaj. Certainly a social safety net between disaster SNAP and disaster unemployment, both of which Eworld rapidly deployed for the departments for citizen support. Joe, how do you envision the future of AI-powered self-service for DHS programs? Can you describe potential use cases where AI could handle more intricate tasks in the future?
Okay, so I always start a conversation about technology by saying that I'm a person that was dragged kicking and screaming to utilize technology. As you can tell by my hair color, I'm of a certain age where all of my contemporaries were into gaming, and understanding computers, and I was like, where's the on button, right? So everything that I talk about now, please take it with the understanding that I'm a total lay person when it comes to understanding technology. And this is quite odd because my wife, who is 3 years older than I am, is a tech guru. Her specialty is actually computer-mediated language learning. And so, she sort of just shakes her head whenever, I talk about technology. And in fact, she was saying, why are you going to Google next? But anyway, so in regards to AI, I really feel that there's a variety of aspects that it can help with, especially in the delivery of services and benefits. One of the things is that it can quickly identify fraud, which is helpful to our staff. And it also ensures efficiency with the delivery and processing of applications. I think it can also help with targeted delivery. So it can look at, say, DHS includes not only the economic benefits, but also MedQuest or Medicaid. So it could look through the applications and say, well, this person also probably would qualify for Medicaid or some of the other services you have. So it can help with that. I definitely think one of the main points is language and making it accessible for everybody. So I think they call it enterprise translation or natural language processing. Thank you. I was like, what does the P stand for? Because one of the things that I just saw a commercial where the woman, one of the actresses said, oh, how do I know that you're a real, or she said something like, oh, she calls up a big call center and it's like, oh, you sound human. And she says, how do I know that you're human? And the person responds, well, how do I know you're human? And so I think when people call, it's important to have AI that sounds natural, right? And it provides them correct information, especially with the new COFA regulations, which the federal government recently passed, in which now COFA residents are eligible for federal benefits. I think having, translation services is going to be really important to ensure that everyone who deserves their benefits get their benefits.
Thank you, Joe. Punkage, can you please share best practices or key takeaways for attendees on how they can leverage Google Cloud AI technologies to prepare for and respond to disasters in their own communities?
Thank you, Amanda. Before I go and try to answer the question, I want to say something else, and that is we had a 25th anniversary celebration with the governor on March 28th, and he unequivocally made the statement in his address to us that Hawaii would not have opened if Google did not lead the Safe Travels program in Hawaii. And we are extremely thankful for Google's contribution and the work they have done to make sure Hawaii continues to thrive even in the face of the biggest disaster that we had called COVID-19. And that thing simply translated into success again during the Lahaina fires. And it's extremely, to me, partnerships are very, very important at different levels. Google Eworld partnership, Google Human Services and Eworld partnership, and the partnership with the community. No technology will work if people don't understand what it is for and how it is going to help them. So that's the biggest takeaway and the lesson that I took away from my experience on the receiving end of Google and Eworld services when I was in government, and now we are delivering services to the Department of Human Services and many other departments. Other thing that's extremely important is communication, communication, communication at all levels, across the departments, within Eworld, and also with Google. Think about a disaster that developed overnight, and we had to be prepared with the strategy and a plan to deliver contact center technology to Maui. And we were able to do it because we were on the calls all the time. The moment it was 8th in the morning, 8th of August in the morning, we were ready that if something is going to happen. And we were communicating with Joe and his office and also with the Benefit Employment and Support Services Division and Department of Labor for the UI benefits and Department of Health for nursing and other health services. It was very important we communicate. Other thing that I have learned is that with Google, it's reliable service, it's reliable partnership, it's scalable, it's extensible, it's flexible, and it was all proven throughout our effort as we responded to the crisis across Maui, especially in Lahaina. And the last thing I will say is that our CX team and our culture and change management team that we have in Hawaii as Eworld, those two teams did a fantastic job of holding the hand of the client, Department of Human Services. They didn't need hand-holding, but the technology needed to be implemented, right? So we were able to help them throughout the process, so they never felt that they were not supported. It's extremely important that the client feels that love and aloha, and that's what this team provided. Those are the key lessons that I have taken away from the effort of Lahaina fires.
Communication, partnership, trust.
Yeah.
Very
important.
Key.
Very important.
Thank you. I would like to open up any final closing comments before we go to Q&A?
AI is here to stay and is our future.